decided to make Pokemon Colosseum extra hard by randomizing the game and giving myself 0 experience for beating an enemy. This game is already known as one of the most challenging games in the Pokemon series, so this should really suck. I began my game by stealing the snag machine and committing a small act of terrorism. And I have to point out how funny it is to watch the main character run like that. My starting Pokemon were Gorybus and Amistar, and Amistar boasts a shitty moveset featuring Water Gun twice. But who really cares? These guys shouldn't be hanging out for that long since they can't level up. I fought a few randos, did some story progression beats, stocked up on a shit ton of Great Balls, all leading up to my first Shadow Pokemon, a level 30 Typhlosion. I ran outside the mayor's house and fought the green guy, which is apparently the wrong choice. His Shadow Pokemon was a Hoodoo, and I was so angry that he dared to use something so bad I killed it on purpose. Yep, I totally meant to do that. I made my way to Pyrite Town, a town that has always served as a cruel reminder that I don't know how to snap my fingers. Seriously, how do you... what? This town is supposed to serve as a way to help you build up a team before the first boss. And so they throw a lot of Shadow Pokemon at you in rapid succession, all at level 30. Many of my Pokemon were good, like this Netang, while others were less good, like this Zubat. Still, you can rebattle these trainers as much as you like, so it never made any sense to not get them. But before we move on, we have to talk about this Dratini. Dratini has a really funny death animation in this game. It does an exclamation point. For some reason, this Dratini was prone to dying while I was trying to catch it. Did I need it? Absolutely not. No one needs a Dratini that can't evolve. Was I too stubborn to just move on? I sure was. I spent way too much time trying to catch this bad boy, and used up far too many of my precious Great Balls. After clearing out the dual square, I fought that random dude near the entrance to the town who has a slightly higher level Pokemon at 33. Since no one in this game can level up, catching slightly higher Pokemon whenever they appear is very important, as it's the only way I can keep up with the level curve. His level 33 Shadow Pokemon ended up being a Fortress, which is a pretty nice defensive Pokemon to have this early on. As you can see, my final team coming out of Pyrite is looking pretty decent. Sure, none of them knew very many moves besides Shadow Rush, but they didn't really need any. For the uninitiated, Shadow Pokemon in Colosseum all know the move Shadow Rush, and occasionally enter into a permanent status condition known as Hyper Mode. You're supposed to call your Pokemon to return them to normal and help them be purified faster, but what's the rush? The main draw of purifying Shadow Pokemon is that they can level up, but mine can't do that anyways, so there's really no reason to not just leave them in Hyper Mode forever. While in Hyper Mode, Shadow Rush gets a much higher crit rate, and it's already a 90 damage move that hits neutral into any Pokemon. Using Shadow Rush crits, I was able to easily mop the floor with the Pyrite Colosseum. The next Shadow Pokemon I got was a level 33 Vulpix, which I guess I could technically evolve with a Firestone, but honestly the 3 levels weren't worth switching with Typhlosion. This started the long gauntlet of trainers leading to the top of this building, where a short mini-boss waited. The first mini-boss has a Weepin' Bell that's only at level 20 for some reason, so there's no way we're using that. The second mini-boss leads with a Celebi and Octillery. Can you guess which one is Shadow? It's Octillery. Yup, another water type, when I already started the game with 2 water types. But this one is level 33 and knew Aurora Beam, so... I actually got my ass kicked by her the first time because Octillery refused to stay in the ball, and aside from my Huntail, a surprising amount of my team is weak to water and ice types. Also, Celebi got Ancient Power stat boost once. Like, what the fuck? I got her on the run back though, and used Octillery to replace Huntail. I next fought this dude on the roof who had a Shadow Golduck. I seriously don't know what I did to deserve all of these water types. I wasn't about to use Golduck as our Octillery replacement, that would be stupid, so I just caught it and moved on with my day. While making my way through the cave on the way to the first real boss of the game, I stumbled onto this chest containing 4 Sacred Ash. Yup. In case you don't know, these items revive your entire team and fully heal them. They can only be used outside of battle, but they might save me a few treks back to a healing station during some of the longer dungeons in the game. Or I could sell them and get rich, I don't know, both are equally likely. I fought my way through most of the trainers in the cave, catching a few new Shadow Pokemon, though none I actually wanted for my team, until I came across a Shadow Umbreon. Umbreon isn't the best Pokemon ever in this gen, but it's my personal favorite. If I can show my appreciation for Umbreon really quick, look at this boy. I love the way the circles on his coat sort of fade in and out. It's something that never happens in any of the other games, not even in the newer 3D games, but it always adds this extra majesty to his design in Colosseum, and I really do just love it. So yeah, Umbreon found a place on our team as a replacement for Dratini, since spamming Dragon Rage and then immediately exclamation pointing was starting to get a little old. And with that, I made it to the first boss, Mirror B, known for his kick-ass theme. Mirror B would have a level 35 Shadow Pokemon, so it was imperative that I caught it before moving on. The only problem was that I only had 4 Great Balls, and the outskirts stand was pretty far away, so I figured if the run dies 4 hours in, it dies, right? I entered the battle with most of my team already in hyper mode and immediately went to work hitting the Lumbre with a crit. I'll let past Lynette tell you what happened next. Holy fuck! Somehow though, Octillery one-shot Rayquaza with Aurora Beam, so I guess it's all good? A few dead Pokemon later, and Mirror B sent out his Shadow Lantern. Yes, it's another water type, but fuck it, it's level 35, so Octillery the Godslayer can go back to the box, having done its duty like a good soldier. Enjoy retirement, Octillery. We'll miss you. After beating Mirror B, I opened this chest hidden behind him that contained 2 Spellon berries. As a friendly reminder, eating berries is apparently illegal in the dystopian world that is the Ori region, so those are useless to me. Ducking gives you a level 13 Plusle as a reward for saving his town, but this time he gave me a level 13 Tentacool. I'm obviously not going to use it, I just wanted to point out that it is yet another water type. After giving Ducking the middle finger, I made my way to Agate Village, a retirement home filled with elderly people and apparently the only place in the game that's not a desert. You're supposed to watch Egan lose a scripted loss here in a battle that only takes a couple turns, but in this brave new world, the Cypher Beyond decided to send out a Shadow Clefable that used Minimize. Yep. Eventually, Clefable started using attack moves, and he had Egan on the back wall until Egan remembered that Torchic knows Flamethrower. The game decided to act like Egan still lost that, which really feels like they're doing my boy dirty. He overcame the bullshit Clefable stall, and I will never forget that, no matter what the game says. It was then my turn to fight Cypher Peon Scrub, who decided to trade out his Shadow Clefable for a Shadow Stantler. It was imperative that I caught this Pokemon, as the enemy Pokemon are all reaching their late 30s, and this would be my only Shadow Pokemon from now until the next boss. Unfortunately, that's bad though. Don't kill, don't kill, don't kill. Fuck! Yeah, apparently Cypher's new strategy to stop me from stealing the Pokemon they abused is to suicide via takedown. Without Stantler, the rest of this part of the game just got much more difficult. I was given the ability to purify my Pokemon, which I did so that a few of them could get new moves to replace Shadow Rush. Typhlosion was given Ember, which isn't great, but at least he has a Fire-type move now. And Metang, in an ironic twist of fate, learned Takedown. Great. Still mad about Stantler, I took a short break and came back with my hair up. I don't know why I'm telling you that, it just felt important. I needed to fight my way through 10 trainers, all of which were much higher level than me, and the last of which is a boss that is usually very difficult to beat and has a level 40 Shadow Pokemon. Before I made it to him, I had to beat Hunter Telia, my new arch nemesis. Telia led with Gyarados, a Pokemon that would be no match for my Lantern if Lantern had any electric moves in its moveset. Alas, Lantern only knew Water Gun and Shadow Rush. This meant that Gyarados was very tanky, and loved to spam Dragon Rage to kill most of my team in 2 to 3 hits. She also had a Grumpig, which was incredibly tanky, spammed Confused Ray, and did a lot of damage to my team with Psychic, since my team was mostly physical tanks like Rhyhorn and Fortress. She also had a very tanky Lickitung running around for good measure, which could whittle me down and occasionally flinch my slower team members with Stomp. Finally, she had a Larvitar. That was the only Pokemon I could consistently beat on her team. Her team was just so bulky, and my Pokemon had really poor movesets, and my Pokemon were also 6 to 8 levels under her team, so there was no way I could really do any damage to her. Most of my matches ended the same way, with my Metang, the only Pokemon who could really tank all her threats but couldn't do any real damage, standing alone, tag teamed by her Pokemon. Eventually, she led with Grumpig instead of Gyarados, which gave Umbreon an opening to kill it with Pursuit. Well, okay, not kill it right away. But by taking out Grumpig early, before Gyarados could destroy most of my team, we actually had the momentum we needed to get through the fight. We win. Huntertelia, I fucking beat you. Alright, 5 more to go. The next 5 trainers leading up to the boss were still an absolute slog. I started to go a little loopy at some point from running back to heal so often. God, I wish my Pokemon had good moves. I wish they leveled up. I wish there was a way out of this fucking hell. This hell I made for myself. Maybe that's what all hells are. I can officially check insane ramblings while fighting an artillery from my bucket list. But after my struggle through hell, I finally made it to Dakeem. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what kind of fetish his design is playing into, I just know that watching him punch this guy in the stomach set my therapy back a few years. Anyways, I had one goal for this fight. I needed to catch Dakeem's level 40 Shadow Pokemon to finally have something that was on level for this part of the game. Dakeem led with Slowbro and Ivysaur, and I thought I had an advantage here, so I let Umbreon hit Slowbro with a super effective Pursuit, only to be reminded how weak and pathetic my Pokemon actually were. Luckily, Slowbro spammed Withdraw, so I was able to take it out without any casualties. Lantern used Shadow Rush crits to take out Ivysaur, though we sustained a lot of damage from Razor Leaf in the process. Dakeem replaced Slowbro with Staryu. I guess he also got stuck in Water Hell for his run. Staryu is a pretty weak Pokemon overall, but when it used Minimize, I had some minor PTSD resurface and instantly doubled into it to make sure it fucking died. Gligar replaced Ivysaur, and I really didn't have much of an answer for this one since Lantern was already dead. Once Staryu was dead, Dakeem replaced it with his level 40 Shadow Altaria. Altaria immediately used Dragon Dance, and I was pretty sure this thing was about to sweep my entire team. But if I could just catch it, I could turn this whole run around. I countered by using Confusion with Metang, which did so little damage I may as well have not used the fucking move. It did become confused, however, and I knew the only real answer I had to this Altaria on my entire team was to rely on the Confusion procs, keeping it busy long enough for me to weaken it down. Altaria began hurting itself, dealing extra damage due to its previous Dragon Dance. I started focusing down Gligar, but it had already used Harden 3 times, so my Umbreon Shadow Rush was barely doing any damage to it. When Umbreon fainted, I sent out Rhyhorn, thinking I could use Rock Blast to put some damage on Altaria. Unfortunately, being Dragon Breathed, I don't like that. Holy shit! That did a lot of damage! Holy shit! Oh, never mind. Rhyhorn doesn't get a chance to do anything. Fucking anything. Never mind. With Rhyhorn now dead, I was more afraid of Altaria than ever before. I sent in Fortress, and with Typhlosion in the back, I was really hoping that Gligar wasn't hiding any ground moves, otherwise it could easily kill the rest of my team. Luckily, Gligar became confused as well, and both Dakeem's Pokemon ended up hurting themselves during the next turn, which gave me just the opening I needed to finish off Gligar. With my remaining 3 Pokemon facing down Shadow Altaria, catching it seemed in the bag. I got it into the yellow and started throwing Pokeballs while my Metang continued to whittle it down with Confusion. The first Great Ball was a failure, but no worries, I had plenty of time and plenty of balls to catch it with. After hurting itself and tanking my Confusion, it was now in the red. I moved on to Ultra Balls. I didn't have many, but I needed any bonus to catch I could get. Again, it broke free on the first shit. I was starting to feel a little more stressed out. A future where I didn't catch this Pokemon felt more and more possible. Altaria snapped out of its confusion and used Shadow Rush. Luckily, Shadow Rush does very little recoil, so Altaria was in no danger of killing itself with the move. I threw a second Ultra Ball. Once again, it broke out on the first shake. Shadow Rush killed my Metang, and I replaced it with Typhlosion. I decided that Typhlosion could try to use Smokescreen to force Altaria to miss and help me get more turns against it. I'll let you see for yourself what happened. But here. Come on, come on, come on. You want me, you want me, you want me. Every time, only one! Come on! No, not takedown. That does a lot of recoil. No, 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 no! Altaria! Altaria! No, 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 no. No. Fuck me. That's so bad. Player defeated Cypher admin Dakim. But at what fucking cost? As Dakim did this weird gorilla jump away from the battlefield, I contemplated how my life had reached this point. I hadn't made any mistakes. I played that battle as well as I could have. But at the end of the day, Altaria didn't want to come home. It had chosen to remain with an abusive trainer that artificially closed the door to its heart, and I had to contemplate what that meant about me as a trainer. I had thrown my team into countless battles, always with a plan to replace them with something stronger, to throw them away for the next best thing. Altaria had seen through that, had seen through me. I knew that deep down in my soul, I wasn't worthy of it. But next time we faced each other, I'd prove myself. Because somehow, this ragtag team that was supposed to be replaced 2 boss fights ago had continued to triumph, and I wasn't going to give up until I saw Cypher destroyed. But before we see Cypher destroyed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is just another friendly reminder that subscribing to the channel can help me afford hormone replacement therapy and grow tits. And if I know one thing about Pokemon fans, it's that they love an attractive woman. So hit that subscribe button, it'll make you happy.